So as I've said, these are scholar reviews for The Pearl on the Horizon and the Blissabyss. So I wish to welcome the first group, that is group 5. Are you presenting on The Pearl on the Horizon, group 5?
Yes.
Yeah, so you are welcome. You are welcome. You can start.
Okay, so our presentation was on writing a scholarly review on the book The Pearl on the Horizon. And we figured out that a lot of scholars had written about a lot of other things other than dialogism, which will be the focus of our paper. So other scholars have talked about Victorine and the problem of moral decay in the society, but have failed to focus on dialogism, which is our main point. No, so according to Mikhail Bakhtin, dialogism is, I'm just going to read it as it is. Dialogism, just a minute, dialogism refers to a text that presents multiple competing voices and truths without a single authoritative perspective. Now, why do we say that the book is against dialogism? We say that because we are going to focus on certain aspects of the composition of the book in whole that makes us think or makes us understand how the book is actually against dialogism. The first part that I will focus on before inviting the next person will be on styles, sorry. We'll be focusing on the characters and the styles. So I will be talking about the styles. The first style that we figured out or we saw that was not or was taken out or had shown us what is against dialogism was dialogue. So the book is so much into dialogue throughout because there's a lot of conversations between Victorine, Eugene, Fresher, and all the like. But it is against dialogism in the aspect that these people are not given a voice. As we are going to look in characters by the next presenter, some characters are not able to air or to say or to actually explain why they do the things they do. An example will be Victorine. Victorine does a lot of things, as the character presenter will explain, but she's not given a chance to explain why she does it. But we are given an understanding of why she does those things by the narration, not necessarily by Victorine. So that is why one of the reasons that we say that the book is against dialogism. The second aspect you're going to look at is flashback. And thirdly, rhetoric questions. They are all in chapter 5. So in chapter 5, it's majorly a narration more than a dialogue between the people in it. So it is narrating or giving us a flashback on the life of Victorine through and through. And we learn her relationship with her father. We learn that she got married to Suleiman and what or why she does the things she does or why she decides that she will not be fully intentional on relationships. But even as we are given all that flashback and we are told everything that happens, Victorine does not tell us what happens. That narration is what I was saying about in dialogue. That narration is what explains to us what happens to Victorine and why she does the things she does. And I was saying about rhetoric questions because they are joined to this, because when Victorine, we're being told about her story and all, Victorine has questions that go unanswered, of which I will read. In page 60, the questions are, what benefits of education did Fresher boast about? Did she lack experience? And did religion help? These questions are aired by Victorine from an aspect that she does not understand why certain things are happening or why they actually choose the ethical side. Because these questions go unanswered, it relays gaps because there are other people who actually want to side with the materialistic view, just as others side with the ethical side. So the lack of answering these questions makes us think or makes us understand that the book is actually against dialogism. And I would like to invite the next presenter to explain further about characters.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Keren. Okay, next presenter.
Good evening. I'm going to talk about characters. How characters in The Pearl on the Horizon are against dialogism. The first character I'm going to look at is Eugene. Eugene is the main protagonist, is the protagonist in the book Pearl on the Horizon. We see his hard work, perseverance, determination,
You are
strong
breaking. You are
religious
breaking.
beliefs. See Eugene working.
You are breaking, Mercy. Move near your
Okay.
device and be audible.
We see him working very hard, and we see him being a teacher in a certain school where he is demeaned by his colleagues. Through his hard work and through his printing or publishing of books. For example, a book, Blissabyss, he's being awarded $2 million by Bill in the States and $500,000 by Tom Wilson for his masterpiece, Blissabyss. So we see his hard work and determination plus perseverance brings him success at the end. As we see, by free will, we see that behavior is influenced by ego, rational thinking, as exercised by Eugene, and finally brings him success. He is against dialogism, as his ideology is treated as final and unquestionable. We see Andrew Nyongesa's book, Pearl on the Horizon, is anti-dialogic, since Eugene's ideologies are treated as final and unquestionable, whereby other characters are not given the chance to submit. They are being expected to submit rather than to respond. The second character is Victorine Mahmouz, Madame Victorine Mahmouz. This is an antagonist in the book Pearl on the Horizon. We see that her character is the total contrary of Eugene, whereby she's very materialistic. She's very materialistic, and when I use Frederick Engels' 1848, he claims that social life is determined by material forces, which is seen in Victorine's father kept, that is, Victorine's father kept on telling her to know how to survive despite what life throws on her. She's supposed to know how she's supposed to survive. And when she gets herself into a relationship with her first love, that is Suleiman Mahfouz, after being we see her breaking up with Mahfouz. She tends to be so desperate to an extent that she steals some money from Suleiman, whereby she gets to another country, whereby she starts Mahfouz casinos, that is engaging herself in prostitution so that to survive and get as a means of survival, so that she can get her basic needs, not only basic needs, but uh, for her life to be successful. We see that despite whatever all bad behaviors or bad characters from Mahfouz, as we've been told in the styles, the rhetorical questions, she asks, what's the essence of education? She doesn't see the essence of education as some of the characters, such as Fresha and Eugene, who has also already graduated with first class honors. They don't even have a job which can assure them of daily meal. So she's desperate, and we see that Nyongesa shows anti-dialogism as Victorine is not allowed to fully challenge Eugene's authority. Her voice doesn't shape the narrative significantly. I also want to use another character, that is Pressure, who happens to be Eugene's girlfriend. She's caught between influence and independence. She internalizes Eugene's beliefs instead of forming her own. She's seen to be believing in hard work and resilience, as Eugene, her fiancé, does. Her perspective is not fully developed as independent. Instead of dialogue, influence and control is depicted. This weakens the multiplicity of voices as opposed by Mikhail Bakhtin, whereby there is supposed to be multiple voices in literature. We see that Fresher the character of Fresher, she's submissive or she's influenced to have the characters the same as Eugene instead of having her own. that is allowing dialogism. Hence, using the three characters, we see that Andrew Nyongesa's Pearl on the Horizon is against the dialogism aspect that is supposed to be used in writing of the publishing of the novel to make it a success where all the characters will be given equal opportunity to explain or to ask or to inquire different questions so that there will be equal opportunity for all to speak for themselves. That is all about characters.
Thank you, Mercy. Next. Do we have any other presenter? Yeah, so basically, as we said, maybe instead of using the term anti-dialogic, use the term monologic. Yeah, monologic. There's one authoritative voice that permeates the work, one ideology that controls the discussion from the beginning to the end. And yet, according to Mikhail Bakhtin, a novel should exhibit divergent voices where there is a democratic sharing of ideologies. Basically, that's what, so we call it monologism instead of saying anti-dialogic. Any other person from your group? Any other person? Victor, we belong to group 12?
I'm in group 12.
Because once we go to group 12, we cannot come back to group 5. So group 5, any other person? Keren, did your colleagues come?
No, unfortunately, I've not been able to contact them.
So you are you are 2.
Yes.
All right, let's go to group 12. Okay, thank you, Keren. Group 12. Victor, you can share your welcome.
So our question was saying it is at the level of style rather than content that a writer distinguishes their work of art. So to begin with, I'll start with the introduction.
Be
Let me
audible.
first say that.
Victor, be audible. Be audible, speak up.
Okay. So in literary studies, the distinction between style and content is central in understanding how writers transform ordinary narratives into works of art. While content refers to the themes, ideas, and subject matter of a text, style encompasses techniques, languages choices, and devices that shape how ideas are communicated. Now, what that simply means is that in a work of art, there is a content that is the whatever that is held inside the book, and that is what the writer intends to communicate to the audience. But now there's what makes that content rather unique is how the author, the writer of that work of art presents it. And that is what we simply mean by saying style. So style is the manner or by the means by which you are communicating your work of art. So there's a scholar called Viktor Shkolsky. He's a Russian. He argued that it is at the level of style rather than content that literature achieves its artistic quality, since style defamiliarizes language and compels readers to perceive reality anew, or rather, presenting familiar experiences in unusual ways so that the readers perceive them more anew or more vividly. So what Victor had in mind, the Russian that is, was that a work of art, when a person writes a work of art, not that the themes are very unfamiliar to us. Like for example, in the book of the Blissabyss, there are themes like youth identity, themes of jealousy, those are not very unfamiliar to us. But Victor argued that when you present something familiar in an unfamiliar way, it makes it unique and more palatable to the audience, so that one is able to enjoy or to understand better the book or the work of art that you are presenting to them. So this idea supports the argument that style is a key element that distinguishes literary art. Writers achieve artistic originality not by inventing entirely new things, but by presenting familiar experiences in unusual ways so that readers perceive them more vividly. Andrew Nyongesa's The Blissabyss illustrates this principle vividly, in that, although content engages familiar themes of youth, identity, and social struggles, it is Nyongesa's stylistic experimentation, his narrative voice, his imagery, his oxymoron, his symbolism, that simply means his style, in short, that distinguishes the work of art. And so this paper will therefore demonstrate how Nyongesa's style is more than content. So I'll begin with one style, that is imagery and, and layered symbolism. So
Be audible, be audible,
another
be audible, raise
okay,
your voice. And
the style.
also face your phone very well so that people can see your face. Yeah. Continue.
So imagery. So the style that I'll start with imagery and layered symbolism. Um, Imagery is simply uh, in the unit of stylistics, we were taught that imagery is simply the style that serves our human senses, the human senses, as in the style that appeals to the human senses, the senses like eyesight, senses like skin touch, things like those. So that is simply imagery. So I'll start. Another stylistic dimension that distinguishes Andrew Nyongesa's The Bliss Abyss is its use of vivid imagery and layer symbolism. Nyongesa often employs surreal and exaggerated images that transform ordinary experiences into striking artistic moments. For instance, the recurring motif of abyss functions not only as a literal space for darkness, but also as a metaphor for existential struggle and uncertainties for youth. For instance,
I want
the character.
to mute you and then you will unmute. Unmute
Yes.
now. I've made you a co-host. Unmute now. Yeah, continue. Now there will be no interference. Continue.
Okay. So, for instance, okay, should I be okay? Let me start again.
Continue. Okay.
By
Okay.
yeah, by imagery, I've simply said that it is the style that appeals to our senses. So, it says that Nyongesa often employs surreal and exaggerated images that transform ordinary experiences into striking artistic moments. For instance, the recurring motif of abyss functions not only as a literal space of darkness, but also as a metaphor for existential struggle and uncertainties for youth. For instance, the character Nancy opts to live a very immoral life, one that suppresses virtues and uplifts vices, reason being that she was left earlier by her boyfriend, as she explains to her friend. And therefore, this clearly highlights the current situation in that whenever the youth are faced by a major setback, they often opt to embrace the pleasures of the world. Eugene also falls victim to it, in that when he was tried to be killed by his brother, he lost he's lost the sight of his ambition and ended up embracing the immoral part of life. This stylistic use of symbolism compels readers to interpret beyond the surface narrative, engaging with the text at a deeper level. This goes in line with Viktor Shkolsky's theory of defamiliarization, such that imagery slows down perception and forces readers to reconsider familiar realities, identity, social pressure, and personal growth through a fresh lens. Thus, Nyongesa's stylistic manipulation of imagery and symbolism rather than thematic content alone that elevates the Blissabyss into a distinctive work of art. So I'll invite the next presenter to continue.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Victor. Next.
Yes.
So it's Ayub, let me make you the co-host before you continue. Let me make you the co-host. It ensures that there is no interference during the presentation. Okay, you can now unmute and also share your webcam. Ayub, unmute now. Is it possible for you to share your video? Just click on that icon, the video icon, if you can.
No, I'm not able to access.
There's an icon there. Apart from the microphone, there's another one there which is a bit broad. You just click on it and see.
Yeah, it's telling me to allow Zoom Workplace to access your camera.
Let me see if I can. Is it possible to ask to start video? Okay, can you try again? Is it possible? Nakata.
Can I keep it and then return?
Okay, just continue. I don't know. It is not because I have made you a co-host. You are Ayub, isn't it?
Yes.
Ask to start video. Revoke the name. Ask to start video. Mekata bado. But I've made you a co-host. What's the problem? Because if you are a co-host, you are allowed to. Okay, just continue.
Okay. I can start.
Yeah, start.
Okay. Looking on the style oxymoron and the roles of oxymoron in Blissabyss. So, one of the most significant of the stylistic feature used in the Blissabyss is the use of oxymoron. It's a figure of speech that combines contradictory terms to produce a complex meaning that kind of contradicts itself. If we look, the title, the Blissabyss itself is an oxymoron. It combines the word bliss, which simply suggests happiness and fulfillment, with abyss, which refers to darkness, emptiness, or despair. By merging this opposing idea, Nyongesa creates a powerful expression that captures the emotional tension explored in the text. This oxymoronic title refers the complexity of human and experience. Happiness and suffering often coexist, and moment of joy can sometimes conceal deep emotional struggle. Through stylistic devices, the writer encouraged reader to reflect on the paradoxical nature of life. For instance, let's take Eugene as an example. He often described not only as a morally upright, walking in the path of virtue rather than vice, but also a very dedicated and focused young man. For instance, Eugene's character was superior to reputation. But be that as it may, Eugene has also his other side, the abyss. For instance, Eugene is highly influenced by pride in that he often judged other students so much, viewing them as nowhere close to his class in terms of behavior. So in his diary, as we see in his diary, he described people like Nancy and his brother Soita in a negative way. But again, ironically, he ended up spending a night with the one he often described as a immoral, Nancy. And he ended up abusing alcohol, indulging himself in other vices. So, Nyongesa, throughout the character like Eugene, proves that life is two-sided, the bliss and the abyss. The use of oxymoron also demonstrates writers' artistic creativity aligned with the Shklovsky's theory of defamiliarization, since rather than simply describing emotional conflict directly, Nyongesa presents it through a stylistic device that engages the reader's imagination and invites deeper representation. Yeah, that is all. May invite my colleague.
Okay, that's great. Do you have any other presenter? Thank you, Ayub. Do you have any other presenter, or that was the final one? Victor, did you have any other person?
We had chosen a few, but I think they are afraid or something.
They were afraid of presenting. Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. So it was just your opportunity, and I also wanted to record you, so that we also reserve it for the future. So thank you so much, and have a great evening. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
Unless somebody has a question, does anybody have a question? All right. Thank you so much.